Alright. Here we go. What up? Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah, Larry. I know you. I know you. For some reason, once the demo starts, you can't skip it, so you have to reset your system. There we go. Alright, so here we are. We are Celis and Sabin right now, and it's been a while since I played. However, I did go back on my YouTube archive and tried to remind myself of what we were doing before I quit last time. Or before I started today. No, I said that right the first time. Anyway, so we're walking around as Celis and Sabin right now, and there's this cave that we can go into, and the cave seems to go into the castle, which seems like a good place to be, because the castle is Edgar's, and right now we're chasing around a guy named Jared with a G, which is just an anagram for Edgar, and he's clearly Edgar, so we want to go find him, you know? So he's probably in that castle. I just wanted to take a quick look around outside here to make sure. Let me move my chat so I can read it a little bit more easily. And there we go. So how are you today, Larry? What have you been doing? Last time I saw you, you were playing... what was Larry playing last time? Oh, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know about that game, man. And also, now that I'm here, I kind of can't remember whether we came from this direction or the other direction. It seems kind of familiar to have crossed the desert, but I don't remember. These things just heal us. It's crazy talk. I need my Soylent. La da 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 da. And there we go. Oh yeah, so much Final Fantasy. Microfrog has been playing Final Fantasy 12. I watched some of that today. Because 12, I don't care about spoilers. And, Frog was just, like... He wasn't even doing story stuff. When I watched Frog for, like, 20 minutes... They were just going into a door... and coming back out of it... over and over again... Because apparently there was like a 1% chance for a chest to spawn, and the chest would have like a 20% chance to have some crazy item in it, or something really stupid like that. So they were just going into this room and coming back out to reload into the zone, and checking this spot over and over again. So it's a good thing it was the remastered version where they let you speed up time. Which is a funny thing, like usually, I always play the original version of a game, right? I always want to play the original version. But when I see a game where they've remastered it, and one of the options that they've added to the remaster is to speed up time in the game. Which is real weird. It makes it seem like the developers think that the original game was a waste of time. Which kind of makes me not want to play it. But if I play it, I'll still play the original version. It's just how I roll. If it's too boring, then I won't finish it, and I'll say, didn't like that game. It was boring. That's how I roll. I think it's okay to not like a game. I think a lot of the time, also, when a company makes a fix for something, it subtly makes the game worse. Or sometimes not so subtly. Like, do you guys remember Doom 3 BFG Edition, where they added a flashlight that could attach to your gun instead of having to switch between your flashlight and your gun, which was a huge part of the atmosphere of that game? That's the kind of thing. What is whining? Oh, it's this monitor. There we go. I pulled the plug. Pull the plug. Hey there, Luna Spark. How are you? Have you guys heard that Death song, Pull the Plug? I don't remember how it goes, but it was cool. It's a good song. I think it's off Leprosy. Oh, that's like a sideways door. Is that new? I feel like that's new. A new mechanic. Doors that you go in sideways. Oh shoot, I wanted to tell Flex about that Humpty Hump is in this game. You don't listen to terrible music? You don't like... So you're saying death is terrible? I disagree, but, you know, that's part of what makes music wonderful. I think Death is a wonderful band, particularly their later stuff. Like, starting with Individual Thought Patterns, they started to get... Actually, really starting with Human. Their lyrics became very, like, thoughtful and meaningful. Which is kind of funny. Like, alright, so even if you don't like the band Death, it's just a funny story that you gotta appreciate. Chuck Schuldiner was like he is Death. He's the guy, right? Who made the band, made the music. It's death metal specifically. The death metal genre is named after the band Death, which is basically Chuck Schuldiner. He's the guy who made the band, wrote all the music, right? And then the other members of the band rotated and stuff, and he was the guy. And their first couple albums are just like stupid gore lyrics, you know? Their first album is called Scream Bloody Gore, and it's just like dumb Cannibal Corpse-y kind of lyrics and stuff. And then it seems like Chuck Schuldiner kind of regretted doing that. He did it as like kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's like very tongue-in-cheek if you read it now. It's not serious at all, the lyrics. But still, like, it became the thing that's how you write lyrics for death metal, and it kind of bugged him later, it seemed like. And then starting with the album Human, he started writing, like, really great lyrics. And there's this interview with him where he's, like, wearing this shirt with kittens on it and stuff, and he's just, like, he's really, like, rejecting later of like lyrics that are about demons and that kind of stuff. And he just wanted it to be more thoughtful and I guess maybe just so people took it more seriously or something, I'm not sure. But his lyrics on specifically the Sound of Perseverance is like really, really great lyrically. Because the thing about him, too, is that he had brain cancer, and all of his fans... This is before you could make, like, a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or that kind of thing, you know? This is a long time ago. He had brain cancer, and all of his fans raised money in order to help his family with the medical bills. And on top of that, though, it wasn't going to save his life. He knew that his time was still short, you know? And the Sound of Perseverance is like an album that he wrote during this time of his life where he almost was already dead because of brain cancer. But just the generosity of other people allowed him to get the treatment that he needed and to help out his family. But also, just like, can you imagine, like, the state of mind you would be in if you thought for sure you were going to die? And the lyrics on that album are just really, really crazy. Just like, you can just the emotion just bleeds from every word, you know, where he's saying, like, live your life and tell your story, and don't waste your time with things that are negative. It's just so good. So good. And like, and the thing about it, the thing about it is that people hear the music and they're like, oh, it's death metal. It's terrible. But man, it's just such a perfect example of, like, there is so much behind it. And it just happens to be that that's how that guy expressed himself. Is with powerful driving guitar riffs that are sweet. And with shrieking harsh vocals that are awesome. Yeah, I understand that that's where you're coming from, Luneth Spark. We got the idea. Oh, here's Jared.
Here's the problem. What a mess.
Boss, what are we gonna do? Our treasure's stored in the room back there.
You guys get in there while I keep things busy.
But boss, that's dangerous.
Get going.
Edgar!
What are you waiting for, Salus? Give me a hand.
Edgar, it is you! Oh, we're fighting tentacles, okay. Yeah, you might as well do this. Hopefully I remembered that. Okay, yeah, we remembered how to suplex. Suplex that tentacle. What?! Okay, he can suplex a train, but not a tentacle. Good to know. Uh-oh. Okay, we better blast that tentacle. Luna Spark, it sounds like this is the kind of place you shouldn't be. But, you know, who am I to say? Perhaps it's just how you spend your time. Alright, discard. Excellent. Do that. I probably need to do a thing. A cure once I can. It's been so long since I've watched a horror movie. The last time I watched a horror movie, it was Cabin in the Woods, which, I know, you don't have to say it. I know now. I didn't know that it was gonna be like a tongue-in-cheek, making fun of horror movies kind of thing. I think we're gonna be fine here. I don't remember any of Sabin's other moves. I only bothered to remember suplex. Unhand him already. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on a second. Sabin is healing it. Okay. That took me way too long to realize. Alright, Sabin, you're on heal duty then. Wait, now it's set. Oh, shit. That was Edgar's turn. Okay. Wait. Edgar is also healing it? Okay, hang on, hang on. This is just going to shit. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Horror movies are so terrible. Jump scare after jump scare. How about you actually make something genuinely scary instead of a cheap scream? Okay. I agree with your sentiment. I agree with the idea that jump scares are bad and that genuine horror is good. Yes, I agree with that part. I don't agree with the general tone of your statement, though, where you're acting as if good horror doesn't exist. The general statement, horror movies are so terrible, here's why I'm going to explain bad horror movies, doesn't explain, you know, you're writing off good horror movies by saying horror movies as a blanket are terrible, and then you're explaining what makes bad horror movies bad. You know, I don't know, I'm just saying that all I'm saying is I agree with you. I would have written it differently, personally. I'm also maybe gonna die here. Will this give it to Celis? Or am I about to potion the enemy? Ugh. Okay, she tried to pop off a cure too, and then... Name one good horror movie that isn't Sam Raimi. You know, I'm not a horror movie expert, but... What's that one? Reanimator. I'm really not the person to be asking about it because I don't watch a lot of horror movies. I don't really watch a lot of movies in general. I'm not a movie expert at all. Original Alien? Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, we gotta do this kind of thing now. But you like Sam Raimi horror then, do ya? Why the stupid farce?
Well, I heard that Figaro had an accident. I wanted to help, but I didn't know where to look. Then I heard that those idiots had escaped from the prison.
You needed to use them.
Bingo! I had to wait until they led me to their secret cave.
Amazing, considering that you threw most of them in jail to begin with.
Don't treat us like strangers anymore. Uh-oh, let's hide.
Boss? Boss? Gah, must have been eaten by that thing. If it wasn't much of a monster, well, let's go.
You don't want that treasure back?
It's completely worthless. Besides, Kefka's the one we need to worry about. Those guys haven't committed any serious crimes.
Come on, let's go.
There's only one problem, eh, brother?
Oh shit, people are... Yeah. Everybody's poisoned. You don't like Italian horror movies because of overacting? Ooh, Soul Saber. Now you're striking me with this attitude, Spark, that everything is trash. And the thing about that kind of attitude is that nobody takes you seriously until you name a couple things that you do like and why. You know? Like, what I mean is, when everything is trash, then you kind of need, when you're claiming that everything is trash, you kind of need to put forth something that we can all agree with. Or what I mean is, we don't have to agree with it. We don't have to think the same thing. We don't have to like the same movies. But we gotta hear a good argument as to why something is good. I think it's a common thing. It's like, you know, we've all seen the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars reviews on YouTube. And if you haven't, by the way, if you haven't seen the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars reviews on YouTube, I would recommend watching that instead of this right now. But those reviews would be so much less if there weren't so many examples of good movies in them. You like The Room? Now, are you saying you like The Room, or are you saying that, you've seen those? He's a pretentious twat? Oh my god. Spark, you're just... I feel like you're trying a little... You're trying. And we can all see it.
Nonsense, it's been fixed. Next stop, the surface.
Welcome back, King Edgar. Ah, Sabin, what a splendid young man you've become. Make yourselves at home here.
Let's do just that. We got Edgar back. What I mean, Spark, is that it's wearing thin. If you talk like this all the time, it just, people get tired of it. You used to like Star Wars until Ruin Johnson came along. I don't know what Ruin Johnson is. But then you have a hashtag about The Last Jedi being awful. Which, when you place that title along saying that you used to like Star Wars, it makes it sound like you liked Star Wars until The Last Jedi, which means that you liked the prequels, which is really hard to agree with. Again, I'm saying without any examples of movies that you like, this only leads me to think that you must like the Star Wars prequels, which now makes all of the movies that you said were bad, just, it doesn't matter that you think that. The prequels were fine? I wouldn't say they're fine. I wouldn't say that they were entertaining. The prequels were boring disasters where nothing happened and only things from the original movies were ruined. Like, Star Wars prequels is the perfect example of how you expanding a universe or making a sequel / prequel to something can in fact ruin the original. A lot of people say that you can just ignore it, you know? It's a big thing. It always comes up when people talk about Bloodborne. Is there going to be a Bloodborne sequel? Is there going to be a Bloodborne sequel? And I say, I hope not. And people say, why do you hope not? You know, if it's bad, you can just ignore it. No. No. You can't just ignore things. Because it's impossible to talk about Star Wars now without half the conversation being about the prequels and why you have to ignore them. You know what I'm saying? You cannot have a conversation about Star Wars without having to address the elephant of the room that is the prequels. You can't just tell someone that you love Star Wars anymore because the prequels come up. You know what I mean? You can't say that you love BioShock because you don't love BioShock 2. There's just so many things about the prequels that actively take everything that was in the original movies and makes it stupid. I agree with that, Larry. I agree. You can love a thing without having to love every individual piece of it. That is true. However, at what point is it beyond repair? I think it was in episode 1 when midichlorians were explained. I think that's when it became beyond repair. It's unfortunate that I am the age that I am. I was born in 1990, which means that I did not grow up with the original Star Wars movies. I grew up with the prequels. Am I older than you, Larry? Really? I wouldn't think so. That's surprising. You were born the end of 91? I wonder what things there are that you remember, or that I remember that you didn't. You know, like if we're only... I was born at the end of 1990. I was born in October. So we're a year apart. And it's interesting to... It's interesting to see what kinds of things there are that are actually that are actually a gap between our times. Like, Nicole was born in 1992, and it's really interesting how different it was for her. Yeah, Mega, I haven't seen those. I'm just honestly like I can get off on a I can get off on a tangent about Star Wars, but really I don't give a shit about those movies, and I like when a new one comes out, I'm not even going to consider seeing it. Like, I just don't care. But I do find what happened with the prequels to be extremely interesting. But, you know, honestly, though, I'm just not really all that interested in movies in general. I never watch them, you know? That's pretty extreme, Spark. That's pretty extreme. Feels Disney, man. I know, Larry. I know that our childhood experience was mostly the same. I'm just saying that... I'm just saying that if we talked all the time and we were best friends. You mean we're not best friends already? Beach to it. There would be funny things that would come up. That's all. What was the last movie that I bought? I bought The Matrix on Blu-ray a long time ago. But as far as, like, the newest movie, like, the movie that came out the most recently that I bought, like, probably Secret Window? That Johnny Depp movie? Based on the Stephen King novel? I bought it on DVD when it came out. That's probably the newest movie that I've bought. I don't buy movies. I bought Tank Girl, but I think Tank Girl came out earlier. Yeah. Okay, what am I doing in this game right now? I probably need to talk to people around here. The thieves have all left town. Oh, well, that's good. You two Secret Window? Piracy is the future? Nah, piracy is the past, man. Piracy used to be viable because digital distribution wasn't... Digital distribution took a long time, like officially, took a long time to catch up to technology. So, like, piracy was the best option for a long time because it was just such a pain in the ass to do anything else, right? But now it's easy. Now it's really... Anytime that I want to watch a movie, I go on Amazon Video, and I can watch the movie for, like, $4 or something, you know? Boom. Perfect. I never had an issue. I don't really watch movies multiple times, though. I mean, if I watch a movie once on stream and I really, really like it and I think oh, no! King! The last movie that I bought was Space Cop. Like, only like a week ago. Like a week ago, I bought Space Cop. Anyway, what was I saying? If I rent a movie and I really enjoy it, then I would probably seek out purchasing the movie so that I could watch it more times. Oh, I also bought Idiocracy more recently than Secret Window. Somewhere in that like 15-year span, I bought Idiocracy somewhere in there too. That movie's great. Spark, I need you to settle down a little bit. I'm going to ask you something, all right? Real talk, all right? The next message that you're going to put in to chat, just don't, okay? The one after that, feel free. Feel free to put in the one after that, but just the next one, just leave it. Leave it. Leave it in the ether. The one after that's fine, but then the one after that, leave it. Never to be heard by anyone. And just repeat that process. Like, essentially, have the number of messages, but don't just write them out more slowly. Just leave out every other message so that we all get confused. Oh yeah, Larry, what are you playing? You're playing... Oh, you're playing Kingdom Come right now. And you're over encumbered. Did I ever tell you guys about the glitch that I got in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion? It's like the weirdest glitch that I've ever encountered. So, you know when you do the Dark Brotherhood quests in Oblivion, and you get the horse Shadow Mare?
For each life lost, a new one arrives to fill the void. Okay, nothing's gonna stop us.
Oh, that person. So, you get that horse. My game in Oblivion bugged to where the horse, Shadowmare, became permanently sucked into slow motion. Like, the horse, everything on the scene was normal, but the horse moved in slow motion. Like, it moved, physically it moved slower, but also its running animation played in slow motion, and it was just constantly in that state. If I got on the horse, it ran in slow motion. If I got off the horse, it moved around, all of its animations in slow motion. Only that horse, only that entity in the game. You know, reloading my game didn't do anything. It was nuts. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a game. It was weirder than that time that I was playing Metal Gear Solid 3 and Snake just threw up. I was running around and out of nowhere, Snake just throws up and then keeps going. I'm like, alright, glad you got that out of your system, Snake. Now, I think I probably ate something bad in the game, because in Metal Gear Solid 3 you have to, like, eat and stuff. I'm sure that's what it was. It wasn't a bug. When I was playing it, I just thought it was really silly and funny. You hope Hollywood can turn themselves around? Me too, you know? I always hope that things will get better. I hope Konami can turn themselves around, you know? Or just, I guess, just the greater AAA video game industry. You want to hear me be a negative Nancy for a while? Let's talk about AAA video games. Oofta. But I hope that they can turn around. I think that they will. I think that the industry is going to reform. I don't know when or how, but something's gonna give. You know, they took microtransactions out of Shadow of War, you know, now that it's way too late. Now that they've it's like, you know what it is, though? I don't think it's that Warner Bros. Had a change of heart. I think the deal with Shadow of War is that the game is past the point where it's profitable to make it shitty. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, if you want to play Shadow of War, if you want to play Shadow of War now, if you're considering it, you're not a player who cares enough to buy it. to deal with bullshit, because you don't care that much. If you cared anymore, you would have already bought the game. So now you're the kind of person who plays old games. And people who play games a year after the fact, 6 months after the fact, whatever, those aren't the kind of people, I don't think, who buy loot boxes. Who would deal with a shitty, poorly optimized, grindy game that's made to make you spend money. So it's no longer profitable. Now they'll sell more copies if they don't have that bad word of mouth. That's what I think anyway. And yeah, Mega, well that's the thing, is just as long as it's more profitable for the industry to be shitty, it'll be shitty. You know, it's all money. You watch people play games instead of playing games? I still really like video games. I just don't play AAA games, really. Unless there's, like, they're really special. And by really special, I mean they're not like other AAA games. Such as... Well, that's the thing, is that AAA is a shitty term. Because, like, is Monster Hunter World AAA? A lot of people would say yes, of course it is. But is it? I don't know. Monster Hunter World is a fantastic video game. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You like kinetic visual novels? Is Kinetic a company? I am unfamiliar with the words that you're saying. Far Cry 5? I mean, there's a really good Jimquisition about it, if you care about Jim Sterling at all. He just made a video that's about how it's probably the best game that Ubisoft has ever made, except that it's a Ubisoft game, so it's exactly like every other... It's exactly like every other Ubisoft game. So if you've been playing Ubisoft games, then it's just like a marginal step up. But if you haven't been playing Ubisoft games, then it'll be a big step up. I don't know. That's what he said. Far Cry 3 was pretty... I liked Far Cry 3. I got bored of it before it was over and stopped playing it because it was Ubisoft, you know, open world sludge eventually. But I liked it for a while. And I thought that Vaz... Was that his name? Vaz? Was like a fascinating villain. I loved that character. I don't think that Far Cry 5 has that. I suppose I can also quote Jeff Gerstmann for you, who says that Far Cry 5 is a really fun game, but the characters are bad. The characters are terrible and the dialogue is not good. So it's worth, like, playing co-op, playing something that you're not playing for story, but you shouldn't play for story. Okay, speaking of Ubisoft, story, bad characters, me being a negative Nancy about AAA games, you know what game is going to be fucking terrible? Beyond Good and Evil 2. I don't think that game is going to be good at all. It's just going to be another Ubisoft game. Also, the trailer for it was the most irritating trailer I've, like, ever seen for a game. That trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 was just... Oh, man. I hated it. I hated every character that was in it. I hated every line of dialogue that was spoken. It was just irritating. So, yeah. There you go. I was negative for a little bit. How the PC evolved? What's PC? Player character? Like, as opposed to NPC? I didn't say it's bad, Spark. I said I think it's going to be bad. We don't need the free country argument or anything. It's not what I said. I said it's gonna be bad. Am I playing the emotional game for the first time? Are you talking about this game right here? Because yes, this is my first time playing it, and this is a blind playthrough. Yeah, well, that's the thing about Ubisoft specifically, Voogie, is that all their games are the same. Wait a second, I need to get this sword off of Edgar because it doesn't appear to be doing anything. But nah, what I'm saying is, from what I have seen of Beyond Good and Evil 2, I think that the game is going to be bad because the trailer was really just irritating and off-putting, and Ubisoft is making it. Most games are the same now? I disagree. AAA games, maybe. But the grand scheme of video games, nah. Video games are great. However, I do play old games mostly because I do find old games to be the best, you know. I gotta look at this Soul Saber and see what the deal is with it. Absorbs damage as MP. Oh. Randomly casts Doom. Oh? Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. That's true, Spark. Oh, whoa, something we agree on. Nintendo is still making good games. What is this white savior trope that you guys are talking about? But oh man, a game where people just tell you what to do the whole time, and the player character doesn't make any decisions. Yeah. That drives me nuts. What game was I just complaining about that was like that? Oh, dude, the Ratchet and Clank remake. Remember that? Oh, don't pay attention to Spark. Spark is just he's shaking the cage. Or she. He or she. They. Z. I'm not sure what people say these days. Frankly, it's a little bit beyond me. I'm just gonna say they. It's not Zelda. You know what? I'll bite. I'll bite. What are you talking about, Spark? What do you mean it's not Zelda? I would like to hear you out. Because I would go toe-to-toe with you on knowledge of The Legend of Zelda. I would in a second play the weakest link one-on-one against you with the topic being The Legend of Zelda. And I'm confident that I would win. And I think Breath of the Wild is a fantastic Zelda game that is a step older in Zelda. It takes the philosophy of old Zelda games and kind of brings it back. It's more, you know, if you talk about the series changing as it goes and the new ones being different, it's more of a Zelda game than, you know, the newer ones. It should have a different title. Well, I mean, you just said the same thing that you said a second ago. Before you said it's not a Zelda game. Saying that it should have had a different title is basically the same statement. I mean, it's not technically the same statement. You are saying something different, but it's like the same idea. It's the same notion. I'm asking you why. Like, Breath of the Wild reminded me a lot of The Legend of Zelda for the NES. And how much more like Zelda can you get than that? I suppose it depends on the series. You know, like a lot of people would say that Castlevania is defined by Symphony of the Night, not by Castlevania, you know? There's stuff like that, sure. You could say that the defining Zelda game is A Link to the Past. You know, I get it. But the things that A Link to the Past has that the original Zelda doesn't are things that Breath of the Wild has. Like puzzles. The original Zelda didn't have puzzles. That's kind of a weird thing that people don't really remember a lot. Is that the original Zelda had secrets. It had rooms where you had to figure out that you have to, like, push a block. You know. But it didn't have puzzles. The last good one was Twilight Princess. I thought A Link Between Worlds was fantastic. And then I thought Breath of the Wild was fantastic. I don't know what other Zelda games... Let me think. After Twilight Princess, there was... Oh, there was Skyward Sword. I never played Skyward Sword. But A Link Between Worlds was... Oh, so good. It was phenomenal. And then Breath of the Wild was just absolutely stunningly beautiful as well. Wonderful, wonderful video games. And yeah, the one who walks through fire. This is Luneth's first time here that I remember, at least. Fire Emblem needs to die? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Why? Do I play Fire Emblem? I played Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones, and I thought it was really good. But that is the entirety of my experience with the Fire Emblem series. See, Larry is more directly saying, he's being more upfront with the same thing that I was saying before, Luneth, that we need more examples of things that are good from you in order to kind of form how we feel about your opinions. Because if you only ever say that things are bad, then no one cares what you say, because we haven't been given a reason to yet, because, you know. Well, unless you're saying that... there's a whole thing about it. There's a whole thing about it, but the point is that if we get more things that you think are good, and you make good arguments about it, or you make good arguments about the things that you think are bad, then people will take you seriously. But right now, your words are meaningless to us because we don't know you well enough. And we can't get to know you because you're not explaining any of your opinions. Strategy games are repetitive, you think? I disagree. I think strategy games have a uncanny ability to keep you to make every battle feel different because of the way that strategy and tactical games work. You're always getting yourself into different situations, and it kind of makes it feel different a lot of the time, unless the strategy game is bad. But I didn't think Fire Emblem was bad. I thought it was pretty great. You worry that we'll never get an open world Zelda? Are you saying that Breath of the Wild wasn't open world? I'm curious about that statement about Breath of the Wild. Right. Oh, wait, did I just... That we will never get a... Oh, okay, you mean we'll never get a non-open world Zelda. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, you know, I agree, because I think linearity is great, you know? In fact, Breath of the Wild, to me, is like the outlier. It's the example of how open world games cannot be bad. Or can be good, I should say. In general, I think that open world makes games worse. When you make your game open world, in general, personally, it makes me like the game less. Most of the time. Because of all of the other design aspects that have to be changed to get around it, to work with the open world, I think that there are changes for the worse. And then Breath of the Wild came along, and it was like, oh my gosh, they did it right. Exactly, I'm a fan of structure, yes. What I love in a video game is to see a crafted challenge that a video game designer designed, where you have to get from point A to point B, and the developer, the designer, very cleverly put things in that line to make it challenging and fun to get through. And you have to do a specific thing. So it's like the game design, the design of the level, is this weird communication where the designer is telling you something about the video game using the design of the level, using the challenge. They're teaching you things. That's amazing. And you don't get that with open world, because the levels are circles that you can go into from any direction, and thus none of those directions that you come from can be as specifically well crafted as a linear path. You know what I mean? So yeah. Larry said it in not so many words. I'm a fan of structure. I enjoy when a video game designer can design the video game. Just Cause 3. I haven't played it, but it looks pretty good. Is Megalonic still here? I know he's played that game quite a bit. It looked pretty fun when I saw it, but I feel like that's the kind of game where, personally, just from what I've seen, I feel like that's the kind of game that I would play for 5 hours and then never play again. Just because it's fun, but maybe not structured enough for me. Okay, hang on. I'm getting really distracted by this conversation, and I have not progressed in this video game in a while. I'm just gonna start talking to people, see what kinds of things people say, and you know, we'll see what happens. But man, look at all this chat happening. It's working. You guys can keep me playing Final Fantasy VI forever. I'll play this game for the rest of my life. We're never going to be able to play 7. I've played 7, though.
In before Lunith Spark claims that Final Fantasy VII is trash.
I've played 7. That one will not be a blind playthrough, but it will be a great playthrough because that game is amazing. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto games are generally great. I really, really like, I really like Grand Theft Auto games. Whoa! People are trashing 7 around here. Nah, I think 7 is it is so good. It's such a good game. It's like crazy. I love every part of it. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Final Fantasy VII is it's one of those games. Thanks for that follow, by the way. Final Fantasy VII is one of those games where it has achieved a status where it is, like, impossible to play the... If you've never played the game before, it's, like, impossible for the game not to be overhyped at this point. You know? It's achieved that status where if you haven't already played it, you basically shouldn't. I shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying that if you do play it, you need to have realistic expectations. Because it's a video game. It is a video game, just like all the other games. It puts its pants on one leg at a time. So, I love the story of 7. I think the characters are great. I love the plot. I love all the different environments. I love the setting. Everything about 7's story I actually really, really like. I don't think that Final Fantasy's story is always trash. I mean, I think that the story of 1 through 3 is very, like... It's... What's the word? Utilitarian? The story of Final Fantasy 1 through 3 is there to advance the plot. It's there to get... And by plot, I mean video game. It's there to just get you to play the game. 4, though, is more character-driven, and it had a pretty good story. 5, very character-driven, had an amazing story. I loved it. This one has a pretty good story so far. I like the characters. I don't like it as much as 5 yet, but we'll see. Tactics Advance 13. Oh, see, Larry, it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not here to say that every Final Fantasy is great. You know what I'm saying? Larry, I am nowhere near claiming that Final Fantasy is a wonderful series that every game is great in it. So I'm allowed to say Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is not super great. 13 is straight up awful. 10 I haven't played. I don't know about 10, but just hearing somebody explain the story doesn't sound great. But Lunith, okay, that's interesting. See, I like what you're saying. You don't like character-driven stories. You want to know about the world. That's very interesting. I think that is the best part of Final Fantasy VII. 7 has a pretty character-driven story, but the world that it takes place in, I think, is extremely interesting, and I think it's the best part. It's the reason that I do think 7 is so great from a story perspective, is I think that Midgar is such a cool place. And then the world around it with Shinra Company and Mako Energy with the reactors, you know, and the meteor, all that kind of stuff is so cool. And that's what I loved about the story. So yeah. Seven is great. Overrated and terrible. Nah. Dark Souls is great. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, phenomenal. Dark Souls 2 and 3, but Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, some of the best games ever made. Cuphead, I didn't like Cuphead that much. It was okay. I mean, I appreciate Cuphead. It's fine. I'm glad it's the way that it is, sort of. I was expecting it to be better designed, though. I don't know. I love how Cuphead looks. I love the idea of the gameplay. I wish that they had kept it as just boss battles. Like, when they first designed the game, they designed it as just boss battles, you know? I wish that they had kept it that way. Because I didn't like the run and gun levels. Well, that's fine. I'm just giving my opinion also. Oh, Cuphead is not a Souls-like. No way. It's an action platformer. Like, I don't understand how you can look at Cuphead and say it's anything different than an action platformer. People are funny. Okay. I'm running around a long time. I need to go back into this cave. Yeah, Cuphead had definitely patterns in it. I didn't, it's one of those things where I kept comparing it to Wings of V as I was playing it. And it was just so much not designed as well as that game is. And that's not the reason I didn't like it. It's just, it's a good comparison point. To say that, like, there's all these little things about the way Cuphead plays that, that just didn't feel as good as other games I've played in that genre. Now, there's a lot of people who have not played games that are like Cuphead. And that's great. But I know I sound like a dumb, like, elitist, like, oh, I didn't like Cuphead because the other games I've played that are like it were better. But, I mean, that's just, it is how it is, you know. Other action platformers that I've played in recent years have been significantly better. I know. I'm not saying that I'm not an elitist. I'm saying that I'm saying that I realize that what I'm saying is a bunch of bullshit that nobody cares about because I sound like an elitist. I'm just getting it out there that I understand that. Best Zelda's Majora's Mask? I've never played that one. Well, no, whoa, what am I saying? I've played Majora's Mask. I didn't get very far in it. I've tried to play Majora's Mask a few times, and I can't get into it. I'm sure it's great, but, like, man, I just can't get into it. However, I also didn't like Ocarina of Time. That's my big thing that, you know, is me being edgy. I think Ocarina of Time feels bad to play. I get it. Ocarina of Time was a very important game Ocarina of Time was an important game. It came out at a time where it was a really big deal. But if you go right now, if you go play Ocarina of Time, it's just a bad feeling game. That's all. I always look at Ocarina of Time and I go, that looks fun. And I don't know why I don't like it. I should play it again. And then when I play it again, I'm just like, this is boring. And it looks bad. And it controls poorly. And I'm bored. I do like I mean, it's certainly got its things in it that are fun. And this is going to make me sound even edgier. But the water temple's the best part. The water temple is like very enjoyable. Because I don't know. It's a really well-designed dungeon. Like, the way that it flows through, like, the way that you go from one space to another in the water temple, and the way that it all loops around, and with the way that the water level goes as you go through, it's really well designed. And it's off the heels of the fire temple, which is boring. The fire temple is so boring. So maybe that's part of the reason also that I really enjoyed the water temple. But yeah, it didn't age well. That's the thing. It didn't age well. But then there are games like Final Fantasy VII that aged wonderfully. A lot of people disagree with that, but I really like Final Fantasy VII's graphics. I really like its soundtrack. I think the translation in it is really good, like the characters and stuff. It's just great. And I mean, I grew up on PS1 though. There's a lot of nostalgia. I grew up on PS1. I'm used to it, you know? It's not so much that I look back on it and go, oh, PS1, those were the days. It's that I'm used to it, you know? I'm used to the quirks of the PlayStation 1. What's a good classic style RPG you can get on Steam? I gotta think about that for a minute. I think you should play Final Fantasy V for Super Nintendo. I think you should play. Don't even get it on Steam. Just get a fan-translated ROM for a SNES emulator and play that. But that's just me. I'm not into remakes, you know. I think you should play the original. Just play the Super Nintendo version or the Super Famicom version, technically, of Final Fantasy V. Get a fan-translated ROM. It's wonderful. You put it on your SNES Mini? Nice! But to actually answer your question of a good classic style RPG on Steam, I don't know. I'm sure there's a really good one out there. I played all the way through Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. There were moments of Hollow Knight that were just like brilliant. That game was really, really good. Yeah. I am generally not somebody who would recommend playing remakes of games just because, like, I don't know. There's always weird stuff to it. Yeah, Larry, somebody, like, 3 years ago, somebody told me to play La Mulana. So, I really should play it. Oh, the FF4 remake is more difficult? Well, that's good, because that was actually my main complaint about Final Fantasy IV, was that it was way too easy. I heard that in Japan there were 2 different versions of Final Fantasy IV. And we got the easy one, basically. Oh, jeez. We'll just use Remedy. Yeah, Castlevania is great. Castlevania 2 is a good game also. It's, it's a step away from what Castlevania 1, 3, and 4 are. And it's kind of what, like, Symphony of the Night more built off of, a little bit. Whoops. Castlevania 2 gets a bad rap because Angry Video Game Nerd made a tongue-in-cheek, funny review of it several years ago, and everybody took it seriously. Yeah, I've never played Sonic 06, but from what I've seen, that game is hardly functional, and it might not even be functional, depending on who you ask. You don't like how Castlevania 2 plays? I mean, it plays very similarly to Castlevania 1, just as far as controls. I really enjoyed it. I like games where you go around and you talk to people, and the people give you information, and you write it down, and then you draw yourself a map. Like, I haven't busted this out in a while. Where's my... Oh... Hang on. I got something to show you guys. Oops. Oh, you don't gotta tell people that something is their opinion. They know it. We all know what's fact and opinion based on the statement. Where the hell is it? Oh, there we go. Check it out. This is my map of Castlevania 2 that I drew as I played it. I love this kind of shit. Having to draw out where you are as you play it. Having to write down shit that people tell you. This shit's great. I love it. So yeah, that's why I really liked Castlevania 2. Some people think that their opinions are fact. Yeah. I don't know. I give people the benefit of the doubt. It's called the internet. Use it. That ruins it. That ruins it. Maybe that's why you don't like video games, Lunith Spark. Is because you ruin them all for yourself. That's not what the Retro Bros are about. The statement you made earlier is a lie. Wait, who are you talking to? I get a little uppity when people accuse other people of lying. I need to get to the bottom of this. Wait, we can just use a tent now. Okay. So I've run around doing nothing in this game for a really long time now. It's got to be something back in town, right? I probably just have to talk to a certain person. Maybe I could use a chocobo also. I didn't think about that. Me saying people know when it's their opinion is a lie. See, this is where I get uppity. Is it a lie? You think I'm lying to you? Or am I mistaken? There's a huge difference. And when you accuse somebody of lying, you mean that you're saying that they are intentionally trying to deceive you with negative intent. And like what Larry is saying, I apologize if I was mistaken, or if you disagree with what I'm saying, but I did not lie to you. Alright? That's something that I get very uppity about. I think honesty, just unbridled honesty, is one of the most important traits to have. Because as humans, we communicate with our words. Okay, that's fine. We communicate with our words, right? Our words is how we make connections with each other. And so, if you're dishonest, if you lie a lot, your word isn't worth anything anymore. And I can't really think of anything worse than my word not being worth anything. I gotta talk to people. I know. I'm becoming Dash. I do nothing in video games retro. I know. It's happening. I gotta talk to all the people in town until Edgar meets somebody that he remembers, because now we have Edgar with us, and that's the deal. Being flayed alive is pretty bad. Yeah, you know. That sounds like it would be pretty bad, you know. Being crushed by a steamroller starting with your feet, I think would be pretty bad too. I don't know if I can think of anything worse than that, actually. You're right. I'm just gonna call you the One. You know, like that movie with Bruce Lee and Jet Li. You're right. I should have it queued up to turn on whenever it's time for real talk. We can turn on Final Fantasy VI town music.
The light of judgment should burn our town down 100 times. We'll rebuild it 100 times.
I think I missed the first word of what he said.
Did you hear that Duncan's alive? His wife said so.
Oh, yeah? Who the fuck is Duncan? But anyway, when I say things like people know their opinions are opinions, I do tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know? As far as like a discussion goes, I don't know. It's just, I find it makes conversations go a little bit smoother if I assume that the other person has considered the words that they're saying. Duncan, Idaho? I don't know. Is that the one about the guy who kills versions of themselves from other universes to become the one? Oh, you know what's funny? I was actually going to ask you if it was a Twin Peaks thing. Because, yeah, when I first read it, I thought, gosh, that reminds me of Twin Peaks. Fire, walk with me. Boy, season 1 of Twin Peaks sure was a good show. Maybe, like, the best. I feel like season 1 of Twin Peaks is, like, actually the best TV show that's ever been. Season 2, I thought, got straight up pretty bad. Until the last episode. And then the last episode was great. But man, season 2 went on for really long and was bad for a long time. Hey, Skaploony. He's alive and well. He's meditating just north of Narsh. What, so we gotta go back? Oh, we probably have to go to Narsh. Narsh, Narsh. I think about that every time somebody says Narsh. TV now seems really pretentious. I haven't seen a recent TV show in a long time. Well, I watched through Breaking Bad. That's like the thing that I've seen that's recent. I thought I really liked it. I thought it went on for a little too long. But at the same time, I don't really see how they could have done it differently, because like the slow build up of the characters getting into worse and worse situations is like really important to how the story was told. But I don't know. At the same time though, it was too much TV show, you know. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but that's exactly the thing, is that for me, like, I don't want to spend 200 hours watching a TV show, you know? I'll spend 200 hours playing a good video game, but I don't want to watch a TV show for that long. I don't even see any of this. By the way, hello, Skaploony. I don't know if I even said hi. Wait a second, the castle? Oh, I just gotta go to the castle. Oh my gosh. What am I doing here? You own most of the dungeon crawlers on Steam? How much Binding of Isaac have you played, Larry? I forgot. Did you try it and not like it? Have you played much of it at all? Okay, we gotta see what Edgar does now that we're back at his home. This is definitely where we need to be to advance the plot. Oh, you've watched the vast majority? Okay. Alright, then you've... Alright, so you've done enough Isaac then if you've watched all of Northern Lion. I wish I could be more like Northern Lion. It's funny, like... I don't tune into Northern Lion stuff as much as I should. Because every time that I go into like the Northern Lion live super show on Twitch, or like I load up one of his videos or something, he is just the wittiest, funniest guy all the time. You can like load up any random Northern Lion video, go to a random point in time, and he is being funny and witty. You want to watch something that you can pick a random episode? So, my favorite TV show... Well, my favorite TV show of all time is Futurama. But, not everybody wants to watch a cartoon comedy. So my other favorite show of all time is The X-Files. I love The X-Files. Now, you can pick an episode at random, and most of the time you'll be fine. But there are episodes of The X-Files that are very, like, you gotta watch at a certain time. You know, there are ones that need to be seen at a certain time in the show in order to understand it. But there's also lots of good, just rando X-Files episodes that are just great. I love that show. Though Edgar showers his attentions on women, most are too smart to pay any attention to him. Ah, King Edgar! Wait a second, this is where we came out. Have I seen Fringe? Is that a show? 'Cause no, I don't know what Fringe is. I've seen one episode of Black Mirror, though. I saw the one called Playtest. Somebody told me to watch it, and I was like, okay. And I watched it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the actor in that episode, like the main character in that episode, really good actor. Like, I was really blown away by that guy's acting. They did a really good job of casting somebody who is able to represent people who like video games and not be awful about it, you know? A lot of the time, the video game person isn't done correctly. Which is fine if your show isn't targeted towards people who play video games because they don't care. But I feel like that episode was made for people who play video games just because of certain things about it, you know? Just like the whole Hideo Kojima illusion and that kind of stuff. Oh, right. Yeah. So when I say that Futurama is my favorite show ever, I do have to specify seasons 1 through 3 and the movies, not the comeback and beyond. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say that sequels and remakes and prequels and things that expand the universe that are bad do make the original worse. Because now I can't just say Futurama is my favorite show anymore, because I'll sound stupid if I'm talking to somebody who is only familiar with the newer stuff that's not good. So I have to say only the first 3 seasons. And now suddenly it's a pain in the ass to talk about Futurama because I have to explain that. Anyway, there we go. Lunith, you've got a sensitive pretension trigger, I'm noticing. Like, it doesn't take much, it seems. I don't know, it's just the vibe I'm getting. You know, speaking of Hideo Kojima, I was very close to playing Metal Gear Solid 2 today. I'm glad I played Final Fantasy VI, though, because we have such a great chat turnout. And because the game is fun. But, yeah. Metal Gear Solid 2 was very close to what we played today. You dislike seasons 1 through 3 of Futurama? What? I don't understand. What was different about the first seasons of Futurama that made you not enjoy them? Oh man, the early Futurama seasons is nuts. It's like every single line in the show is a joke and is funny. And they do such a good job. Here's what I just love about Futurama. Is that the show... Kefka's one shy of a six-pack. That is a funny saying. The show takes place in the year 3000. Which means that they can do anything with the plot. The episodes can be about whatever they want, because it's in the future, there are no rules. They can make things up about the world, and then make an episode about it that has maybe funny little commentary tie-ins to things every now and then. But then when they came back, the later seasons, all they did was take current events and make it about Bender. Like every episode, you know? Like, oh, like, same-sex marriage is an issue. Let's have an episode where Bender wants to get married to Amy. And then we can have an episode that's about marriage laws. Because that's a current event, and it's about Bender. And I just thought that episodes like that were annoying. And, but also the jokes weren't as funny. I don't know. I just didn't think it was as well written. It's one of those things where, as a show goes on, characters kind of become pigeonholed, you know? Where, like, at first, there's a lot of funny diversity to all the characters, and all the characters have quirky traits. But as time goes on, those quirks that each character has start to become their only traits, you know? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia had a fantastic episode that was about this. There's an episode called The Gang Misses the Boat, I think it's called. And it's about how the different characters have all become so weird. And all of their weird, stupid traits from the show have become blown out and have become their only characters now. And it's so great. It's Always Sunny is a wonderful show also. The Simpsons will always be great? I don't know. I've seen very little Simpsons, after season like 10, and everything that I've seen I haven't liked. I don't know, man. I think The Simpsons is way past its prime. Way. This is why I don't like sequels and things, is because things get too old. Things outlast their welcome. But yeah, Jurassic Park. Nicole, when we watched Futurama, because I like regularly watch the first 3 seasons of that show, as like background stuff when I'm doing something else. Significantly less now since I discovered Twitch, but anyway, Nicole refused to watch that episode. It's so funny though, that episode. How Bender gets the robot dog because he's jealous. That's what the line, "You can walk him," is from. I was just out walking Robo-Puppy. You can walk him. That kind of line is so good. Like, I can't explain to you why that line is so funny. But it is. Mons, you're back. Uh-oh, that thing is happening again where everybody's name in chat is red. Have I seen the spoilers of Dominaria? No, I haven't. However, you know what is great that I just found out yesterday? Speaking of which, I sold all my cards. I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot. I had a collection of paper cards. I still play online from time to time. I have an online collection of Magic cards. But my physical cards, they're all gone. I no longer own a single Magic card. Except, oh, no, I don't have that one anymore either. Anyway, Rishidan Port is $20 now. Rishidan Port used to be a $150 Magic card. It is now $20 because of Iconic Masters. Oh man, I'm so excited. I can finally get Rishidan Port. I have to go to the bathroom. You guys should stretch or something. You know, I would recommend a little stretch break. I'm gonna stretch and go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Robo Puppy mistreatment alert! Robo Puppy mistreatment alert! Now beginning 3-hour yipping session.
Alright. I said I was gonna stretch, but I don't know. Getting up and walking to the bathroom and back is enough. What happened to my controller? Oh, there it is. One of your cats is barking again. Please stop quoting Futurama. Now I just want to quote it more. But only if it comes up. Only if it comes up in conversation again. But now I really hope it does. Chairman makes barking sounds? What? My cat chirps at birds and stuff. He looks out the window, and when he sees birds, he goes like... It's really weird. It's like the cutest thing, though. When he does it, I rush over to him and shower him with pets and attention. Okay. We're gonna talk to every NPC in this game. We've talked to everybody in there. Oh, wait, no. I remember what I was gonna do. I just gotta find the place. Come on, I couldn't find the place. I don't remember the next line. But never pay full price for cold pizza. Late pizza? Late. It's gotta be late pizza. Speaking of pizza, I have a half of a calzone to reheat tonight. Diablo-style games? Of course there's Path of Exile. That's kind of the one that everybody knows about. Then there's Torchlight. Torchlight's aight. I only played the first one. Grim Dawn. Family Guy is truly terrible. Yeah. I haven't, like, actually seen an episode of Family Guy in a long time. But sometimes I'll be, like... I'll be out and about, right? And it'll be on the TV at, like... I'm getting my oil changed or something, right? And it's on the TV. And yeah, it's not very enjoyable. You're rewatching what, Mons? Bob's Burgers? I haven't watched through Bob's Burgers, but I've seen like 10 episodes of Bob's Burgers, and I really liked it. Yeah, Bob's Burgers is a really funny show. It's very creative, too. Like, just little things about the way that they did it. Yeah, I agree. The first few seasons of Family Guy do have their moments. There is some really funny stuff near the beginning of that show. That's another show where, just like Futurama, it had some great stuff in it. Now, Futurama was like the best show ever as far as comedies go, and then it wasn't as good when it came back. Family Guy was, I thought it had some good stuff in it, right? It had some moments that were great. And then that show got canceled, and when it came back, it was terrible. Actually, when it came back, the first episode that they came back with had some funny stuff in it. Metalocalypse. I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Metalocalypse. Home Movies is great. Home Movies was such a good show. I haven't seen that in so long. Now here's one that is criminally underrated. This show, nobody's seen it, and I'll be very excited if any of you have seen it. Mission Hill. Anybody watch Mission Hill? It's only got like 20 episodes, 25 episodes, something like that. That show is fantastic. If you haven't seen Mission Hill, you gotta see it. The multiverse episode. Episode of what? But yeah, Mission Hill is such a great show. It's hard to, like, find it, though. I wonder if it's on Family Guy where they flip through alternate realities. I don't know if I saw that one. If it's in the first 3 seasons, I definitely saw it. But I don't remember that. There's the Futurama where they're flipping through multiple universes. Nickelodeon over Cartoon Network. I have no opinion on that. I don't regularly watch either of their shows. I feel like we gotta drive the castle somewhere. Yeah, Home Movies dialogue is... Or, Home Movies and Bob's Burgers, yeah. The dialogue is very... natural. And that's like Brendan Small and John Benjamin. John Benjamin is just like a really good voice actor. That was his last... That was his last idea. It was either that or it was Leela. Next time you feel like killing, just have a stick of gum. Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up Archer because of John Benjamin talk. That show's kind of got like animation that makes me annoyed by it. Right, kind of what Luneth is saying is that like just the way that the characters are so stiff. It just makes like the show boring to watch to me. It's just like it's 100% characters yelling at people yelling at each other, you know? But yeah. Now, Coach McGurk was kind of a different voice, wasn't it? As far as John Benjamin always sounding the same. Do you actually, speaking of home movies, no, Coach McGurk was pretty basic John Benjamin, but he also voiced the kid. Not Brendan. What's the kid's name in home movies? The main kid that's not Brendan. Jason, was that his name? Yeah. So there's a good voice that John Benjamin did that wasn't just John Benjamin. Also, speaking of that guy, have you guys ever seen the show? Oh! We already talked to this guy! Oh my gosh, we already talked to that guy. Wait a second. Okay. The game has my undivided attention right now, so that I can figure out where I'm going. I say as I read chat. Next stop, Collingen. Watch your step. Okay, great. Alright, there's got to be something to do here. There's like 3 towns, and we have Edgar now. But yeah, Archer definitely made me laugh when I watched it. But I thought it was overall kind of boring. I didn't really watch it though. I mean, mostly Nicole watched it, and I overheard it. Yeah, I watched a lot of Trailer Park Boys before, like, until they got canceled. I saw at least the first 5 seasons. I really liked it. The first several seasons of it. The last season of it is kind of weird, though. Like, I remember not liking it as much. The season where either Corey or Trevor, I don't remember which one of them, but one of them leaves. And then, Jacob is, like, trying to be, like, Julian. And they're building the train tracks. The one where they build the train tracks. That season started to get a little outplayed for me. But it was still funny. But yeah. Mr. Leahy was definitely the best character. Like, I think Leahy was, like, by far the funniest character. And the guy was so good, too, who played him. Man, that guy could do that role. Narsh is filled with monsters. Oh, right, we're supposed to go north of Narsh. So we gotta find out where Narsh is in this version of the world. I hope I wasn't just in it. But yeah, TPB. That was a very good show for a long time. I brought it up earlier, but it didn't cause much of a discussion. It's Always Sunny? That show is great. I love that show. I haven't seen the newest season of it, though. They took it off Netflix and then they put it on Hulu. And I have Hulu now. So I should really get to watching that. The place where I stopped, though, was a really good place to, like, never see the show again. The last season was really... Or the last episode of the last season that I saw was really good. The one where they trapped on the cruise ship. Or how about Curb Your Enthusiasm? I recently rewatched all of Seinfeld, and then I started to rewatch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I've never gotten all the way through that show. You don't like It's Always Sunny? God, I love that show. You might... I don't know. I started from the beginning. You might have to start from the beginning in order to understand the characters and get introduced to the characters in the proper order, at the proper pace, you know? But yeah, I never make it all the way through Curb Your Enthusiasm. I love it. It's a great show. But something else always comes up. Like, I just got through the season where he's in The Producers with Mel Brooks. And for some reason, that's as far as I always get. You didn't like Curb? It's so good. I love that kind of humor, though. I think Larry David is just a hilarious guy. Part of Curb and Larry David, though, is a little bit of nostalgia also for me, though. Because, Larry David reminds me a lot of my late grandfather. Not because my grandpa was just like Larry David, but my grandpa really liked Larry David. My grandpa really liked Seinfeld. He's the one who introduced the family to Curb Your Enthusiasm, basically. Like, whenever we would go visit my grandparents, my grandpa would always have a bunch of Curb Your Enthusiasm taped to watch. So it reminds me of him, and that makes me like it a lot. I've never watched Friends. I saw one episode of it many years ago, and I didn't like it. But that's kind of the thing about character-driven comedy shows like that, though, is that if you do watch one episode right in the middle, you're just like, who are these people? This is stupid, you know? Which is why I was saying the thing a minute ago about It's Always Sunny and how you might have to watch it from the beginning. I don't know. I watched it from the beginning, and it was great. Friends is one of your favorites? One kind of specific thing about Friends, from bits and pieces that I've seen, is that it seems like every single conflict in the show has to do with someone had sex with someone, and I just think that gets really outplayed. But, you know, that might not actually be how the show is. Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place where Ryan Reynolds and Nathan Fillion got first known? I've never heard of that. Is that a Canadian thing? Is Ryan Reynolds Canadian? I don't really know who Nathan Fillion is. Oh, speaking of Nathan Fillion, though, who I don't know who that is. Do you guys know who Nathan Fielder is? I actually was going to bring up another show earlier when we were talking about John Benjamin. Did you guys see the show John Benjamin Has a Van? I loved that show. It was... I think it only had like 8 episodes or something. It had like 8 episodes. But, man... such absurd, weird humor in that show. John Benjamin Has a Van was a weird-ass show. But I loved it. And Nathan Fielder was in that show. He was like the sound guy or something. Because the show was about John Benjamin having a van where they went on their show. And yeah, he was like the sound guy. But that show is... It's bizarre. Like, the conflicts that they get into in the show are really weird. And, like, there's all... It's a show that you can't really explain because... There's all these little jokes in it that are just little visual things that happen while you're watching it that are just kind of are a funny atmosphere. Anyway, good show. If you can find a way to watch John Benjamin Has a Van, I recommend it. It's only like 8 episodes, if that, and it's very funny. And yeah, Nathan Fielder, he has his own show now, or maybe he only did have his own show and he doesn't anymore. I don't know. He had a show called, like, Nathan For You, which was, like, a reality show where he gave failing businesses advice, I think was it. And he got famous on it. Like, one episode was a big hit because what he did was there was a coffee shop. There was a coffee shop that was failing, and he gave them the idea to rename and rebrand their show, or their coffee shop, Dumb Starbucks. Because simply calling their coffee shop Dumb Starbucks fulfilled the minimum requirement for it to be considered parody and not copyright infringement. And so basically they would just get a lot of attention for being called Dumb Starbucks. It was really funny. Cause like the guy, Nathan Fielder, is a very funny guy. And the way that they like reveal different things about it as it goes was just perfect. Like, he is just so... He's got the sense of humor where he's like extremely dry and just like doesn't smile and plays everything completely straight all the time, no matter how absurd what he's saying is. And he pulls it off really well. Like, they do just a whole press conference, you know, about like, because the Dumb Starbucks is making a huge deal, right? And like there's a huge line for it. It's a big hit. There's a bunch of news outlets there, and they hold a press conference with him asking like, what's going on with the Dumb Starbucks here? And somebody yells out, asks like, while they're talking about it, like, what are you gonna do about the terrible coffee? And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, the coffee, it's terrible. And he's like, well, that's not a very nice thing to say. And then, like, it's, like, revealed through the questioning that he's concerned that people are actually drinking the coffee because in order for them to be considered parody, technically the coffee that they're selling is art and not actually a beverage. They have to be, like, an art place where they're selling art that is a parody of Starbucks. It's great. Find the treasure and you'll find the lock. Okay. Oh, it's so stupid. I gotta watch the rest of that show because the Starbucks thing was really great. And I've seen Nathan Fielder on like Conan and stuff, and he's just such a funny guy. We gotta figure out where Narsh is. Or find our 4th party member, but they're probably at Narsh. Narsh. Wait a minute, here's Setzer. Holy shit. Setzer, you're alive. Come along with us. We're after Kefka. Whew. I don't know if I have it in me anymore. What are you saying? I'm just a gambler. I just want to be left alone. This world is too chaotic for me. What's worse, I've lost my wings. But before the world collapsed, you fought with all your heart. You were absolutely fearless. That was then. But we can never have that world back. You want to live in this world as it is? No? Then do something about it. CSI Cold Case? Never been really my thing. I like the X-Files because I like the paranormal aspect of it. I love alien stuff. I love Mulder and Scully and their dynamic. And I love the overall story of that show. So, and the reason that I bring that up as a comparison point is that it's like a case-by-case show, you know? Regular, straight-up case-by-case shows, I mean, I'm just picky with shows because I don't watch a lot of shows, you know? Oh, all right, you win. I'm starting to feel lucky. Thanks. I needed that. Now, let's go visit Daryl's tomb. Daryl's tomb? We're gonna get us another one. Airship, that is. Who the fuck is Daryl? Okay. So for the first time in like 5 hours, yeah, it's been more like 3 hours, we've made a little bit of progress. I have Setzer in the party now. I gotta look at his equipment. It's funny that everybody has 5-letter names except Setzer. He's allowed to have 6. What show was it that had that video game episode about how there's a bunch of sexual assault at video game conventions, and that when the video game players assaulted women, they leveled up? What episode was that? It's painful for me to even bring it up. That was Law and Order, right? Yeah, that was Law and Order. CSI had the furry shaming episode, right? Where they talked about the furry conventions. And we're like, look at all these weirdos. I don't know, man. That's NCIS? Oh, okay. Alright. Well, Setzer's back. You used to watch The Mentalist. The Mentalist seemed like it had a really good idea to it. Did you guys ever watch Psych, though? I feel like Psych was the same idea as The Mentalist, but, like, executed better because it was funny. I didn't watch all of Psych, though. Like, the idea of... If you guys don't know, the show Psych, it was basically The Mentalist, except the main character got into the position where his mentalist abilities, where he could tell little things and he was really, really smart and could pick out all the things, got him into a position where the FBI, or I mean the police force, thought that he was psychic. And like some people doubted him, but he like had to play it up as him being psychic at that point. And he basically had to pretend he was psychic. And then also it was funny. So, I don't know. It seemed better to me. It always takes somebody saying something. Yeah. That kind of ending is always kind of dumb, but, you know. They'll just be like, revolution? You know, somebody will be like spinning a thing, and they'll be like, oh, I just want it to make 3 revolutions. And he'll be like, oh, revolution? And then he goes and invents the Nintendo Wii. That was a good episode. This person, she was your friend?
Yeah, she was a piece of work. Nothing scared her. Could be anything looking down there, so keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. Just in case we get rocked, I'm going to save again. An episode that took place in a game? Of what? I gotta say, I really don't like when movies and shows tie in video games generally, because it always is so clearly written by people who don't know what they're talking about. Here's this enemy that's in every Final Fantasy. Remember these guys in Final Fantasy 2? They would hit your guy and it would give you like 5 different status ailments. Anyway. Yeah, video games are never represented in things well. And here's why. Because it's written by someone who doesn't know what video games are. And that's fine. I understand that, but the issue is like, who is your episode supposed to be appealing to? I understand it in the context of like that terrible video game episode of Law & Order that I was talking about, where it's like, okay, this is an episode about video games for people who don't know anything about video games, and that makes sense. But when it tries to appeal to people who like video games, you gotta know about video games. That's why we were talking about that Black Mirror episode earlier. And I was saying I really liked that the Black Mirror episode that was about video games clearly represented understanding of people who, not just video games, people who play games, and the way that they think, and the way that they look at games. And so I thought that was really good. I guess I better have Celis have protection against zombification, because she's able to cure zombification. Look at that little turtle. Oh shoot, I forgot to heal Celis. You saw the new Tomb Raider. What? Really? There's a new Tomb Raider movie? Like, movie? I had no idea. Apparently there's a new movie out called Ready Player One. I heard people ask... Somebody asked me if I wanted to see Ready Player One. And immediately what I thought, I think it's perfectly reasonable to think, is... What is that, like a documentary? Like, the name Ready Player One sounds like a movie that... It sounds like a documentary about video games. The tombstone is blank. Carve something? Not yet. No, I should probably figure out what I need to carve first. Whoops. Ooh, mystery veil. Crystal mail. You liked it? That's good to hear. I like when people like things. Yeah. Right, it's a Spielberg movie, and it's based off of a book, I also heard. I don't get it, though. They're in, like, an MMO, is the thing. I saw a review for the movie. They're in an MMO? Basically, why would it be called Ready Player One? MMOs don't have a Player One. And what are they getting ready for? MMOs don't say Ready Player One in them. You just log in, and you're just another player. I take issue with the name. It's like new internet. I mean, that just sounds like MMO to me. Well, it's something that you log into, and everybody else who's logged in is there. It doesn't sound like the kind of environment where you would be told Ready Player One. I guess I have to see it to understand. It's based on 80s video games and pop culture. It's based on that, but when does that happen? I have 24 revivifies. Oh shit, I haven't looked at my espers in like a really long time. I haven't done that this entire time. Okay. What is a spell that gets rid of zombie? None of them. X-Zone. X-Zone! Oh, man. Yeah. Learn X-Zone. Okay, what's the one that gives them... Oh, well, that's... Yeah, okay, you can have that. 80s arcade games. Oh, like that movie Pixels. Ah, Pac-Man and Space Invaders are the only games we've ever heard of, so we're gonna make a movie about video games. Give it a shot. I just never see movies is the thing. Next time I watch a movie, it's going to be... I knew what movie I was going to watch. I can't think of it now. I had a plan of the next movie I was going to watch. Don't know. John Wick! That's it, mons! I want to watch John Wick. I haven't seen it yet. No. That's totally the movie that I want to watch, though. Fine. Maybe I'll watch it tonight, Chaos Factor. Wait, I am out of popcorn. I think I'm out of popcorn. I need to go to the store, get some snacks, come back, and watch it. But, like, drop what you're doing and go watch a type movie? Okay. Alright, alright. Hey, check out this jacket that I've had for a long time. It's pretty cool. Alright. So we're in another dungeon in Final Fantasy, which is really exciting. I love a good Final Fantasy dungeon, you know? Oh, shit. This is the Nintendo Nation, mons. Hey, Kazco. You know, I've had this jacket since like 8th grade. Which means I don't even know what I was 12? Is that what that means? 13? I was 13, yeah. When I got it. So I've had it for a very long time. I just never wear it anymore. But it's like really cold in this room and I was going to go get a sweatshirt and then this was laying on the floor because Nicole just like moved some shit around. Oh, dude, Scap. Fatal Tragedy is so good. God, Fatal Tragedy is so good.
Lad, did you know a girl was murdered here? Wow.
Oh, man.
This fatal tragedy was talked about for years.
I don't know if you heard Beyond This Life. That's the one that is in 5.8. I just got that on Phase Shift, so I played that on drums today. I think it's the song right after, right? Yeah. Because Fatal Tragedy ends on the dun 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 dun. Now it is time to see how you died. Remember that death is not the end, but only a transition. And then the riff of Beyond This Life starts. Yeah. Okay, I forgot what happened on there. I was thinking about Dream Theater. Genji helmet? What? Whoa! So, I feel like the amount of time that it takes to finish this game is going to be bloated a little bit by how much I'm just like... First of all, the fact that I'm playing multiple games when I play this one instead of just jamming it, which it means that every time that I come back to the game, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Every time that I play this game, it's been way too long since I played it last time. And, that's, you know, gonna be a problem. Oh, geez, what is this, the water temple? Oh, okay, time to write shit down. Where's my Final Fantasy section? Here it is. Part of my issue, too, is that I have not been taking notes as I play this. You have the AC on? Yeah, when I was drumming, I had the window open, is the thing. And it's winter in Minnesota, you know, it's very cold. Well, actually, I think it's technically spring, but it's still winter. Okay. Top one. Okay. And so, yeah, now it's really cold in this room because I had the window open for a little while. Had a violent struggle taking place. There was every sign that led there. Witness found a switchblade on the ground. Was the victim unaware? They continued to investigate. Found a note in the killer's pocket. Could have been a suicide letter. Maybe he had lost her love. Oh, geez, that move is pretty brutal. I don't really want to change my relics around too much, but I better look. Wait, we just got an amulet? Well, that's pretty huge. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh shit, he doesn't even have anything equipped. Wait a second. He's got the Genji glove. She's got that. Oh my gosh, 2 people in my party don't have... Put that damn gauntlet on. And yeah, he can keep with the flame thing. Okay, and then you... I think raising chance of preemptive attacks is really good. And then, yeah, protect against poison. That's fine. Yeah. I forgot to look at their relics. Which is a little worse than forgetting to change their espers like I did before. This one is Arrow. Oh. So it does it in the opposite order that I put them in? The world is square. Find the EXP egg hidden in a back room in the 3rd basement. Okay. Oh, and that's why you have to put them in backwards, because it's going to spell it backwards. Yeah. Okay, and then we already went up here and we hit the switch. Hey again, Kazco. Is your stream still muted? Okay, let's see what's around the rest of the place. I'm really into this dungeon now that its secrets are being revealed. Man, you know what I'm gonna buy at the grocery store? I'm gonna get like 10 of those lasagnas. Stouffer's lasagnas. Meat Lovers lasagna. Ooh, so good. Okay, so we have two ways to go. Right. The cards are not two-handable. Okay, I was thinking that because Edgar uses auto crossbow a lot, the gauntlet might be better in somebody else's hands. However, Celis uses the Atma weapon, which cannot be two-handed. Sabin uses Nux, which cannot be two-handed. Setzer uses cards, which can't be two-handed. So he's actually the only one who can make use of it. I'm actually only assuming that the Nux can't be one-hand or two-handed, but it makes sense to assume that. Oh, right. Don't eject me from the relic menu. There we go. Okay, 2 ways to go. Oh! Back room, 3rd floor basement. This is where the EXP egg is. A Mad Oscar is what this thing is called. So a back room of the 3rd basement is where we're going to find this EXP egg, it's called. Wait. These go to the same spot. That's the same room that the other room goes to. Oh! EXP egg. Doubles obtained EXP. What? It would be a waste not to use it. I'll give it to Edgar because... Wait, no. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to give it to Celis. Yeah, it seems crazy. But yeah, I'm giving it to Celis. This is a relic that I never want to be without. Like, I hope that Celis doesn't, like, leave the party and take it with her or something like that. See, now Edgar can get poisoned, though. That's the thing, is that in this particular dungeon, it kind of sucks to have to take it off of somebody. Or to have to take off somebody's pendant. But it's like, what am I gonna do? Not have sprint shoes on? That would be ridiculous. What else can we get rid of? We can get rid of the Gale hairpin. Alright, alright. Give Edgar his star pendant back. Give Setzer the sprint shoes. Yeah. It would have been funny if the carving into the stone only gave you one chance. Then I could see a lot of people missing it, but I don't know. That wasn't very hard to find. I thought this might be a monster because of the save point. Uh-oh. It's a boss. Alright. We'll go for it. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, that didn't do much. Uh-oh. Did we kill the treasure? Right, Setzer's got like the Gaia gear on. Yeah. I think all my aimlessly running around put me in a pretty good position as far as my level goes. Okay, I don't even know what I just got. I didn't really pay attention. Casts weak point randomly. I don't know if any of this I don't know what this is. Recovers HP with each step? I think this is new. I don't think I had this before. Seems pretty good. Man-eater. She's a man-eater. There it is. Oh, it's a knife. Well, it's a dirk. Doubles damage to a human target. Neato. Ah, the Doom Pollen worked. Well, we're not getting zombified that much. So... Oh, and they just dropped 2 Revivifies? Okay, I guess it's fine. We have 54 of them? Okay, I guess it's totally fine that we occasionally are getting zombified. I love that Setzer throws cards. Throwing cards is just badass. Wasn't Gambit supposed to have his own movie? Did that happen? Daryl sleeps here. Okay. I should probably be doing sluts with Setzer. Thank you, Runner. Yeah, it's certainly a very good game so far. Well, we rocked that guy. I should probably save. But I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot to that fight. Oh, yeah? Like I said, I spent so long wandering around that I might as well have just grinded for 2 hours, you know? Like, I spent a lot of time aimlessly running around.
This brings back a lot of memories.
Oh, whoa! Here's this game doing that thing again where it gets really cool. This experimental airship is probably a bit unstable.
You can't be serious. What are you trying to prove? Watch your step.
If something should happen to me, the Falcon's yours.
Nonsense. I'll win the Falcon from you when I whip you in a race. You'd better clear out of my way.
Big talk, Buster. I'm sorry, I failed you guys. I assumed Daryl's gender, and I assumed wrong. Unless my second assumption is also wrong.
There's nothing like flying.
Thanks for that follow, runner. Come on, stop lagging back there. Oh, do you like chewing on my wake?
Listen to you.
This time's for real. I'm gonna break every record. I'll be known as the woman who flew closest to the stars.
Be back before sunset. I'll be waiting for you on our hill.
I'm waiting in our special place.
Our special place.
Yeah, it's not on purpose. With the previous Final Fantasies, I just jammed them. Like, I just played them every day, you know, until I beat them. And I'm not somebody who grinds. I don't really do it. Unless, like, I have to. And, this game, though, I've been playing multiple games at the same time. So every time I come back to this game, it's been like 4 days. And I just can't remember what I was doing, right? And I wander around for a long time trying to figure out what it was I was doing. And so doing that has kind of made this one take a little longer so far, it seems. And also it's been seemingly making me a little over-leveled. There was one boss that was really tough. I forgot where it was, but there was one... There was one boss that was pretty tricky, that I really enjoyed. The wreck of the Falcon was found a full year later in a distant land.
I restored the craft, and then I put it to rest down here. This is the Falcon? I put it in storage. I couldn't bear to look at it. But now, it just may save us. The Falcon.
Whoa! Fuck yeah!
I finally think we're gonna pull this off.
We can attack Kefka's tower from the air.
The Falcon's gonna give us one last chance, that guy.
But first, we need to find our friends.
Right, first things first. For once I feel hopeful.
Hey, a bird.
Pay attention here. This is the kind of stuff I need to pay more attention at.
Setzer, follow that bird.
But why?
I don't know, just something inside just tells me it's important. Alright, now we have control. Save that game. Miranda. We still have to go to Narsh. Or there's like a place north of Narsh that apparently has something that we want in it. Stay hydrated, everybody.
I'm a former thief. My old accomplice used to mumble this in his sleep. To the right of the treasure chest.
Oh, yeah? And you just tell people that now, huh?
A knight came through here recently. He was amazing, but his heart was full of chaos. When he can cope with his pain, he'll be the mightiest warrior alive.
I used to be a thief, but one day I recovered a secret so awesome I had to run and hide.
A spell, a girl. Some oddball came here strolling through here. People kept calling thou.
I read that sentence very incorrectly. I've learned a lot about our new world from the thieves and travelers that have come through here. What should I talk about? Oh yeah, tell me about Narsh. Yeah. Oh. That's just where it is. Okay. I mean, that's good info. Ooh. We can just buy these now. Okay. Oathvale? I don't know how much we need this stuff. Crystal Shield, sure. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Oh, right. He two hands. See, that's why I just, like, don't usually buy stuff. Alright. Let's get rid of some stuff. I don't think we need these anymore. I don't really know what to get rid of, though. I certainly don't need these anymore. Probably not that. Probably don't need 7 mithril shields. I just don't remember which of these are old, you know? Eh.
Swordbreaker.
Oh. That's powerful, huh? Excellent. I don't like using a weapon that is, elemental all the time. Because sometimes you just randomly go up against enemies where you heal them or something.
Look, my boyfriend in mobile has sent me all these flowers. They're all handmade of silk. And these are letters he's written to me.
But wasn't Mobliz demolished by Kefka? Somebody else must have written these. My beloved Lola, we're still busy trying to rebuild this town. If all goes well, I'll be able to come home to you soon. This handwriting, it looks an awful lot like Cyan's. But where's he mailing them from?
Could you please attach this reply to a carrier pigeon?
Sure. Thank you. Okay. So we gotta find... Oh! Give it to him. Yeah! Ah, and this is gonna tell us where Cyan is now. Alright, you got it. So... Oh, he's talking about Cyan also. That went over my head. Because when I saw him say the thing about, like, oh, he kept calling everybody thou, I was like... There's got to be talking about a character, and then by the time I thought of which character it was, I was off it. Oh shit, this thing is fast. Alright. Oh, Zozo! Remember this place? With the clocks? That I never figured out? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, we know about this. I'm sorry, everybody, for putting you through this again. There we go.
Zozo, never heard of it.
Oh, well, the yawning has begun. I do want to go out and get some snacks so I can come back and watch John Wick. I'm going to do that tonight. Tomorrow I got to get up kind of early to do a thing for work. And I think I'll be going over to Flex Retro's house tomorrow, and we'll be doing a together stream from his house. I forgot what we're gonna play though. Oh, I think we might be playing the Famicom version of Super Mario Bros. 3. Which, if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure the Famicom version, it makes it so that if you're Fire Mario and you get hit, you go all the way down to Small Mario. Which in the American Super Mario Bros. 3, you would just go down to Big Mario. I think... But anyway, yeah, he might have his Famicom version of Mario 3 by tomorrow, and we'll probably play that if he does. But anyway, I'm thinking about wrapping this up so that I can go do those things. Because I feel like it's a whole can of worms that we're opening right now, getting into this place. Where this is where the carrier pigeon went. So Cyan is going to be here. Or when we leave, the bird is going to fly somewhere else. And we need to search that place. Excuse me. Yeah, here's this weird part. Alright, yeah, we'll have to figure this out next time. Today was great, though. Lots of people in here today. You know what happened? We played drums for a while. That's always fun. And then after the drums, though, Flex wanted to race Mario. And right as our Mario race started, I got a big host, like 22 or so people from Goofy Chocobo. Yeah, 22 people from Goofy Chocobo. And then also, we were playing Final Fantasy VI after that. And, you know, people come in specifically for this game, so we ended up with a really nice turnout today. Alright, we did the jump thing. I am wanting to play Metal Gear Solid 2 again soon. I gotta finish up some of the games that we're playing right now. I'm in the middle of this. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3. Dark Souls 2. And then also, we are kind of in the middle of Doom 2016 as well, since I beat Doom 3. I installed new graphics drivers, right? After beating Doom 3? I think so. I think I need to install Windows 10 on my gaming PC, though. It's, blue screened again today, and I just want to put a different OS on it and see if it stops doing that. I mean, today's blue screen was the first blue screen I've gotten in like 2 months, you know, so it's been a while, but it did do it. And I told myself next time it blue screens, I'm going to upgrade to Windows 10. And today it happened. Slam dancer. What kind of dancing is slam? Slam dancing. I want to see that. It's one of those things, like, you hear that you don't need to see break dancing. You just hear the term break dancing and you're like, "Oh, that's going to be cool." And then it is cool. Oh, this is just this? Look, I'm looking for a way out here. Why is this guy lifting up his kilt and showing us his man panties? We gotta get out of here. I was just trying to think there. I wanted to see, like, some of the doors in this game you have to walk like an extra block into. And so I was seeing if you could stand inside that doorway and then go to the right to get out that window. Which would be a clever little spot to hide something. This place is so weird, like the music doesn't fit the mood. Which is the point, I'm sure. Oh, Kazco, how's it going? I'm basically on my way to trying to wrap this up. I'm trying to escape this place so that I can go grocery shopping. And by grocery shopping, I mean I need popcorn. Yeah, yeah. I need popcorn and a bunch of that Stouffer's lasagna. But yeah, I'm doing great. Today's stream was just really good. Very successful. We had things to talk about all day. There were people to talk to all day. It was great. Popcorn is essential. I eat a lot of popcorn. Just a nice little salty snack at night. Love it. Oh shit, I just remembered I have a half of a calzone to reheat. Oh. That kind of throws off my plans. Because it's going to be great. But what am I going to do? Reheat it? And then eat it? And then go grocery shopping? I don't know. Luckily, I live next to a Cub, which is 24 hours. Which is nice because most of my grocery shopping ends up happening in the AM. Like, as in after midnight. Okay, so there we go. We're back below the crazy room. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't you kind of want to be hungry when you're shopping so that you buy a bunch of good stuff? I don't want to come home with like 2 days worth of food because I just wasn't hungry when I was buying it. But let me tell you, that Stouffer's lasagna, I'm gonna buy like 10 of them. Because I just always want them when I have them available. I need to get some materials for chili cheese fries also. Which I mean is just Hormel chili, cheese, and fries, but you know. If you're hungry, you buy a bunch of garbage. That's true. That is true. I certainly buy less healthy food if I'm hungry. I don't really eat healthy food, though. That's what the Soylent is for. Alright. We did a lot today, though. I mean, we kind of didn't. I wandered around a lot. But, after the wandering, then we did a lot, you know. We got Edgar on our team. And then we found Setsu. We went through a dungeon. We got this big new airship, so that's all exciting. I'll be back to this game as soon as possible because I want to jam this game until it's done. And then jam the other games that I've been playing until they are done. Free us up to play something like Metal Gear Solid 2. I want to play on hard mode. I've never played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on hard mode. I played the first one on hard though, and it was great. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry to leave right when Kazco got here, but, you know. It has to be done. Flex Retro. He's playing Super Mario Bros. 2.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, he's at, like, the very end of the game, though. Oh, wait, he's starting over. Okay. Flex Retro is starting a brand new game of Super Mario Bros. 2, it looks like, which is fantastic. The Japanese Mario 2, to clarify. 2J. Alright, see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. It's been a great time. I'll be back as soon as possible. Bye!